Hello guys, welcome to our channel Raw and Basic. So this time we will learn about the concepts of simple and compound interest. But before that, let us first learn the definition of these terms because we will be dealing with these terms when we are computing for your interest, your simple and compound interest, as well as the things on the board. Okay, so let us start. So simple and compound interest. So by definition, simple interest is denoted by I sub s, or you can denote it as any variable you want. So a simple interest is an interest that is computed on the principal and then added to it. Then we have your compound interest denoted by I sub c, are the interest or interest that is computed on the principal and also on the accumulated past interest. Then we have your principal. So principal is denoted by P. It defines as the amount of money borrowed or invested on the origin date. Then we have your origin date or loan date. So this is the date in which the money is received or invested. Then we have your rate, denoted by small r. So it is the annual rate, usually in percent, and is charged by the lender, or if you are the investor, it is the rate of increase of your investment. Then we have your interest. So interest denoted by I. It is a general term, interest. So later on we will distinguish simple and compound interest. So interest is the amount paid or earned for the use of money. Then we have time or term. So time or term is denoted by small letter t. So this is the amount of time in years the money is borrowed or invested. Or it can be the length between the origin date and the maturity date. So later I will explain it by illustration. Then we have your maturity value, or it can be called as future value. So in some books, maturity value is denoted by MV, or some books it's denoted by FV. But in my case, I will denote maturity value or future value using the letter F, capital F. Okay? So again, maturity value or future value is denoted by capital F, is the amount of money after T years that the lender receives on the maturity date. Or it can be the total amount of money or the sum of the principal and the interest. Okay? So I will illustrate and explain these things. Okay, so when we say interest, it is all about investment. It's either you invested a certain amount of money or loan a certain amount of money. So it can be that you are the lender, or it can be that you are the borrower. So you're a lender, you are investing. Okay? So invest or investment. So when we say loan, borrower, it's all about loan or borrowing money. Okay? So if you are the lender, it's either you are a person or institution. who invests the money or makes the funds available. So we have your lending companies, banks, and anyone or someone who invested a certain amount of money. And borrower are the person or institution who owes money or avail funds from the lender or investor. Okay? And speaking about interest, it can be a simple interest or a compound interest. So most probably, when you're lending money or investing in availing for loans, most institutions are computing. Most institutions are computing the interest using this one, the compound interest. So when you're investing or borrowing money in certain institutions such as on lending companies and banks, you should read your contract. Okay? So explaining the terms such as this origin date and loan date. So example, we have this timeline. Okay? So the money, speaking about money, the money you receive is the principal. Okay? The money you will pay or the amount of money or the total amount of money you will earn is your future value or maturity value F. So in between your principal and your future value or maturity value is your interest. Okay? So you will receive your principal or money, or you invested your money on the origin date. Or if you are availing for loan, so it is known as the loan date. Okay? So the start is the origin date and the termination of this investment is known as your maturity date. Okay? So the total amount of time from the origin date and the maturity date is the term. So term or time denoted by small letter t. Okay? So the increase of money or the rate of increase depends on the rate. So we have here your rate. Of course, when you are investing in institutions such as banks, you're investing a certain amount of money, then after a certain time, that money will become bigger. It depends on the rate of increase. Okay? So, this rate is denoted by small letter r. Okay? And this interest, the amount of money that you will earn, or the interest, depends on the rate, of course. And this interest, again, is simplified as simple interest or compound interest. But it depends on a certain institution and the contract that you will have to sign if you are investing or loaning a certain amount of money. Okay? So I guess that you are familiar and acquainted with these terms and how it is going on the process. So I will illustrate the difference between the simple and compound interest using a table as simple example. Okay, so on the board we have here an illustration or illustrations of simple and compound interest. So first let us read the situation. So you are planning to invest 10,000 pesos for 3 years. A cooperative group offers 2% simple interest per year, and a bank offers 2% compounded annually. So let us compare the investments. So this table is for your simple interest, and the second table is for your compound interest. So let us first discuss this table of simple interest. So we have the content of your table. We have the time, the principal, the interest rate, then the solution and the answer of your simple interest, and the maturity value after a certain time. So time is denoted by T, principal is denoted by P, the interest rate is denoted by small letter r, then your maturity value is denoted by F. So simple interest can be denoted by I sub S. Okay, let us continue. So we have the time interval of 3 years, or let's say on your first year, you have an investment of 10,000 pesos for the rate of 2%, and in solving your simple and compound interest, we are converting first your interest, which is on the percentage form. So we will first convert it into decimal form and then multiply it. So in the first year, we have 10,000 pesos at 2% interest rate. So let us multiply 10,000 by 2%, or 0.02 times 1. So 1 is the first year of investment. So multiplying these things, we have 200. Then to get the future value or maturity value of your investment after 1 year, we will add your 10,000 pesos to the interest, which is 200. So that is 10,000 pesos plus 200 equals to 10,200. Okay, so the money earns 200 pesos after 1 year. Then let's go to the second year of your investment. So again, the money is invested. The money invested is 10,000 times the interest rate, which is 0.02 or 2%, times the time, which is 2 years, and that will be equal to 400. So we will be adding 10,000, your principal, to the interest, which is 400, and that will become 10,400 after 2 years. Okay? Then on the third year of the investment, we have 10,000 times 0.02 times 3. That will give us 600, and to get the maturity value F again, 10,000 plus 600, so we will get 10,600. So after 3 years, the money will earn 600 pesos, and the maturity value after 3 years is 10,600. Okay? So if you can see, the money earns 200 pesos each year. So 200 from the first year, another 200 in the second year, so it will become 400, then another 200 on the second year, and it will become 600. Okay? So this is the basic concept behind the simple interest. The money earns a constant value. Okay? Now let us go to the table that illustrates your compound interest. So we have the same content. We have the time, the principal, the rate, then the solution and the answer, and then the maturity value. So on the first year of your investment, we have 10,000 pesos. Of course, we have the rate of 2% or 0.02 times the time, which is 1. So we have 200. Then to get the maturity value F, or the future value, we'll add the principal 10,000 plus the interest, which is 200, and that will give us 10,200. Okay? So the same on the first year of investment. Okay? But on the second year of investment, your principal will become 10,200. If you can see on the principal of your simple interest in here, the principal remains constant. Okay? But in here, it is the thing that we call the accumulated interest of the previous principal in the interest. Okay? So the interest here, so the interest is 200. That 200 will be added to your principal, and then that 200 will earn another interest. Okay? That is why on the environment of compound interest, we have this term as present value. Okay? Present value because the principal keep on changing after certain time, or shall we say the present value in our case is changing after each year or annually. Okay, in here again the principal is constant. That is why present value in simple interest is not applicable. Okay, so principal on the environment of compound interest is also known as present value. Again, principal P on the environment of the compound interest is also known as the present value. So let us continue. In the second year of the investment, the principal is now 10,200 times the time, which is 2, but we will not multiply 2. You can see 10,000 times the rate times 1. So we are basing your investment year by year or annually in this compound interest. Okay? So if you can see here, your time is 1, 2, and 3. In here, we have 1, 1, 1. Because each year, the principal again or the present value is changing. So that's why we have to multiply 10,200 times the rate, which is 0.02 times 1. And that will give us the value of 204. Then 204 will be added to your new principal or present value for your second year of investment. And that will become 10,200 plus 204 will give us 10,404. Then on the third year of the investment, that maturity value will become your principal or present value. Then multiply it to your rate times 1 again, another year of investment. So it is again based annually each year. And multiplying it, 10,404 times 0.02 times 1, it will give us 208.08. Then 208.08 plus 10,404 will give us the value of 10,612.08. So comparing the two investments, the investment of a cooperative group and the investment of a bank, or shall we say the investment from simple interest comparing to compound interest, of course, your money will earn more if you will invest it on the compound interest. So if you can see, your money earned, the money earns 612.08 after 3 years. On this simple interest, your money earns 600 pesos. Okay? So that is just for 3 years. What if the investment will be on 10 to 20 years? So if you can see, your money will earn 200 pesos each year. Constant. In here, your money will earn each year 200. Now it will become 204. Now another year it will become 208.08. So the investment every year for compound interest, the money will earn greater and greater value or money. While on this simple interest, so your money earns a constant value. So the simple interest remains constant throughout the investment term, while the compound interest, so the interest from the previous year is accumulated and also earns interest. So thus, the interest grows every year. So if I have to decide, so I will invest my money on a bank rather than on a cooperative group. Okay, so that is just an illustration of simple and compound interest. So I guess that you'll learn something from this video. Thank you so much, and please subscribe.